A secret affair, a small Ohio town, and a murder that shattered lives. Brad McGarry, a 43-year-old openly gay coal miner, fell victim to a betrayal that unveils the darkest depths of human deception. What drives someone to turn love into violence? The discovery. It was a quiet Sunday afternoon on May 7, 2017, in the peaceful little town of Baylor, Ohio. David Kenny, his wife Sherry, and their young daughter had a simple errand to run. They were returning a weed trimmer to David's close friend, Brad McGarry. What seemed like a routine visit quickly turned into something far more unsettling. As they arrived at Brad's house, something felt off. The front door remained unanswered, even after repeated knocks. A sense of unease began to creep in. Determined to check on his friend, David led his family around to the back of the house. That's when they noticed the service door slightly ajar. Stepping inside, they were met with a chaotic scene. The house was a mess. Furniture was flipped over, and things were scattered everywhere. It was obvious that something was wrong. Sherry's voice echoed through the house as she called out for Brad. But the only response was an unnerving, deafening silence. David's worry turned to urgency. He decided to search the basement, hoping to find answers. As he descended the stairs, the air grew heavy with dread. Just imagine, what if you were in his shoes? And speaking of imagining, if you want more stories like this, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss a thing. What David discovered there would forever change their lives and the tranquil town of Baylor. Before going deep into this story, we need to know more about the people who are all related to this crime. And one of the main people is none other than our David Kenny. So what about our hero, David Kenny? Well, we need to find out whether he is a hero or not, and for sure we will find out. David Kenny was just 21 and living a simple, ordinary life when a single moment changed everything. To celebrate his milestone birthday, David's mother threw a big party. Among the guests was Sherry, a beautiful single mother who came with her son. From the moment David saw her, he was captivated. By the next day, he told his mom he'd found the love of his life and was determined to make Sherry a part of his future. David's decision to marry Sherry, a woman with 3 young children, raised concerns. But he was determined to step into a fatherly role. To support his family, he trained as a coal miner. During this time, he met Brad McGarry, a resilient man from Cambridge, Ohio, who had faced prejudice for being openly gay. Originally a hairstylist, Brad switched to coal mining and quickly bonded with David, earning the nickname Uncle Brad from his kids. By 2017, David was happily married, while Brad balanced work, family, and a secret romance. On May 7th, Brad attended a family gathering but left early, claiming a meeting at home. No one could have predicted the shocking events that would unfold later that evening. David, Sherry, and their youngest daughter had no idea that their seemingly ordinary visit to Brad's house that calm day would take such a dark, life-altering turn. Brad's car was parked outside, and everything appeared normal at first. But when they knocked on the door, no one answered. What had happened behind those closed doors? The mystery would soon unravel, leaving their lives and their small town forever changed. Concerned, they decided to check around the back of the house. To their surprise, the service door was unlocked, slightly ajar. They called out for Brad, but the silence that followed only deepened their unease. Something wasn't right. David took it upon himself to search the house, his worry growing with each passing moment. Sherry stayed upstairs, hoping to find some sign of Brad, but there was nothing. David's search led him to the basement, and what he found there would haunt him forever. As David descended the stairs, he found Brad's lifeless body in a pool of blood. In shock, he screamed, alerting Sherry, who rushed down to the grim scene. Horrified, she quickly dialed 911, her hands shaking as she described the brutal crime they had discovered. The police arrived quickly, and it didn't take long to confirm the tragic truth. Brad had been fatally shot. Questions came up as who could have done this, why, and how had no one in the quiet little town of Baylor, Ohio noticed anything unusual? This devastating discovery would unravel a story of secrets, betrayal, and a mystery that left everyone in the community shaken to their core. When the police arrived at Brad's house, the couple recounted how they had come to check on their close friend, only to uncover a terrible tragedy. They described their deep bond with Brad, a man who wasn't just a friend but a part of their family. The Kennys often spent holidays with Brad, and their children adored him, lovingly calling him Uncle Brad. They even had a Bahamas trip planned together for August. When asked if Brad had any enemies or troubling circumstances, David and Sherry mentioned his recent breakup with a man named Scotty. Though they didn't know his last name, they described their relationship as stormy, marked by frequent arguments and drama. As the officers examined the scene, they found Brad's body lying face down in a pool of blood in the basement. At first, they considered the possibility of suicide, but when the forensic team turned the body over, they discovered no weapon. Quickly ruling out that theory, the house told a different story. Drawers were open, and the living room was in chaos, as if ransacked. But nothing valuable was missing. Brad's expensive art, TV, and even cash on the floor remained. It appeared the robbery was staged to confuse investigators. The detectives then explored other possibilities. Could this have been a hate crime? Brad was openly gay and worked in a conservative coal mine, but when they interviewed his co-workers, they were surprised to hear glowing admiration for him. Everyone described Brad as kind and well-liked, ruling out workplace animosity. As the investigation deepened, Brad's friend Wendy confirmed what David and Sherry had shared. His recent breakup with Scotty had been tumultuous. With this lead and other clues, the detectives began piecing together the puzzle of what really happened to Brad. But who staged a crime scene so elaborately? Now what's your assumption? Who will be the criminal? Well, don't concrete your answers, as there are more twists and turns upcoming. Wendy shared with the police her deep concerns about Brad's relationship with Scotty, saying it had become toxic and strange over time. Following this lead, detectives tracked down Scotty's full name and went straight to his home. However, Scotty's mother informed them he had been in jail for 3 months due to a probation violation. While this seemed to rule him out as the direct perpetrator, detectives weren't ready to dismiss him entirely. They speculated Scotty might have orchestrated the crime from behind bars, potentially using an accomplice. Detectives visited Scotty in jail to inform him of Brad's death and observe his reaction. Scotty seemed genuinely shaken, leading investigators to rule him out as a suspect. They then canvassed the neighborhood and found a neighbor with a security camera that might have captured crucial footage. While reviewing the footage, detectives interviewed Brad's family. 2 days later, Brad's cousin revealed important details. Brad had left a family gathering between 1:30 and 2 p.m., mentioning a visit from someone named DJ. He joked about a nap with DJ, hinting at a romantic encounter. She also shared that Brad had a secret long-term relationship with DJ, who was married and hadn't come out to his wife. Detectives uncovered a shocking twist when they discovered DJ was actually David, the same man who had found Brad's body. Until then, David had been seen as a grieving friend, but this revelation made him the prime suspect. To investigate further, they cleverly asked for David's phone, under the pretense of gathering crime scene photos. What they found was damning. His phone was at Brad's house during the murder, and deleted texts revealed a secret romantic relationship. Surveillance footage showed David arriving at Brad's house in his wife's car, staying 40 minutes before leaving and later returning with his family, pretending to deliver a weed trimmer. Confronted with this evidence, David gave conflicting stories, even claiming a mysterious man killed Brad. Eventually, he admitted to the affair, saying Brad became violent when he tried to end things, leading to a struggle where David acted in self-defense. But the forensics told a different story. Brad had been shot twice in the back of the head, meaning the shooter stood behind him. David's self-defense claim didn't hold up. He also admitted to disposing of the gun, which was never found. Before his arrest, David was allowed to speak to his wife, Sherry. Through tears, he confessed to the affair and expressed regret. Sherry, devastated and betrayed, said she couldn't even look at him. Detectives confirmed she had no idea about the events leading to Brad's death. On May 9th, David was charged with first-degree murder. Investigators believe Brad, tired of living in secrecy, threatened to expose their relationship, giving David the motive to kill in order to protect his double life. In May 2017, David Kenny stood in court, facing the charge of murdering his close friend Brad in a case that had shocked their community. David, a once respected family man, sat quietly as prosecutors laid out the story of betrayal, deception, and tragedy. What do you think drove David to such extremes? Can love and betrayal coexist in such a tragic form? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this story gripping, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true crime mysteries. And if you're eager for more chilling tales, don't miss out into a twisted tale of love, deceit, and murder that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about relationships. Stay tuned and get ready to be shocked.